In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, peace be upon you. I wanted to say a few words about Pakistan and the Pakistani people. Pakistan is under attack from the Gog and Magog anti-Christian satanic gutter elite, including Trump. He has tried to humiliate Pakistan, but he stands humiliated himself. The US and the gutter elite within the US are trying to break up Pakistan using their bullying tactics that they use on other countries when they try to get other countries to attack a country on their behalf. As I said in a previous video, they tried to get Pakistanis attacking the Afghan Taliban, and when they refused, then they tried to get India to attack Pakistan. So, God willing, whatever God wills will take place. Pakistan is a beautiful country and the people are absolutely lovely there, and they show great hospitality. I know because I visited recently. I just wanted to warn Pakistanis because I have met old white men in my line of work, and they have been able to speak some Urdu, and they have seemed really nice and friendly. But then, as an older woman, I have realized that they have not been genuine, and they have had quite bitter hatred against Pakistan and the Pakistani people. But I could see myself years younger meeting people like these old white men, and I didn't realize, they talk really friendly and they were fake, and I did not realize that they were being fake. Only now that I'm older and wiser do I realize that they were being fake. I mean, I saw these old white men chatting to young Pakistani lads, to young African Muslims, and joking with them and saying that they looked like ISIS members. Now, those young boys found this really funny and thought that these men were joking, but really it was quite a nasty thing for them to say that. And perhaps they were even implanting ideas into these young minds. So Pakistanis, do be very wary when these white people visit. They may be part of the Gog and Magog gutter elite. They may be spying on you, so be very wary. When I returned to the UK, I was asked that whether I was scared in Pakistan, isn't it dangerous there? And to be honest with you, I felt like I was the worst person there. I was rude and had no manners. At one point, I pushed in front in a queue where they were selling some food product, and the Asian men allowed me to jump the queue and said I was welcome and allowed me to go before them. I would have never received that treatment in the UK. And they actually said, "Oh, she's a guest in this country. Let her go first." And so I was really very impressed with this attitude. I thought they were extremely nice. I was foreign. In their mind, I was foreign, even though I was brown skinned, and they were going to treat me as a guest. And that is how the Pakistanis treat foreigners, as welcome guests. But this does not happen in the UK or US, or many other Western countries. Another thing I like about Pakistan is it appears to be working in opposition to the Western Gog and Magog anti-Christian gutter elite, satanic Khanzir. The Western gutter elite, they promote tiny boxes for homes. They want you to not be able to produce your own crops in the West, and they don't want you to be able to produce your own food. They don't want you to be self-sufficient in the West. They want you to be dependent on corporations to steal food from abroad and sell it to you in the UK or the US. But in Pakistan, they are promoting people buying small organic farms so that they can live more self-sufficient lifestyles, and they're selling various plots from half an acre to more than 2 acres, and they are insisting that you only build on a quarter of the land that you buy and use the rest for orchards or growing crops or keeping small animals so that you can eat, eggs or chicken, or any other small animal that you might choose to keep. And so I do pray that God preserves those who desire a wholesome life and helps them achieve it. Another thing that I found out when I went to a pilgrimage to Mecca in 2008 was something that I discovered while reading the Quran. So I was reading Yusuf Ali's translation, which reads as follows: "But what plea have they that Allah should not punish them when they keep out men from the sacred masjid, and they are not its guardians? No men can be its guardians except the righteous, but most of them do not understand." So this verse was revealed in the time of the Prophet excuse me, when it's quite late now, when the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was prevented from entering the Kaaba by non-believers, by idol worshippers. So Allah was annoyed at this and telling the Prophet that these non-believers were not the guardians of the masjid, and only righteous people are the guardians of the masjid. And Mohsin Khan directs us to chapter 2, verse 2, where the guardians or the righteous people are described, and these are people who believe, who give charity, who do good works. And so I sat thinking about the meaning of this verse quite deeply, as you know, I was praying and sitting facing the Kaaba, and I was thinking quite deeply about who the guardians of the sacred masjid were. You know, everybody's got a negative impression of the Arabs, or certainly the Saud family, the Arab leadership. We believe that they are working with Israel, and they're far too friendly with Israel. So I did sit thinking quite deeply about that verse. And then as I sat there and watched, I watched the Arab police around the Kaaba, and I also watched the cleaners around the Kaaba, and also gave some thought to the Saudi royal families who visit the Kaaba. And I suggest you study the pictures below and decide which picture shows the true guardians of the masjid according to the Quran. And I do suggest that you pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides you to the truth, and pray that Allah unites you with the true guardians of the Kaaba. From the title of my presentation, you probably will gather that I believe it is the Pakistanis. They have been given the authority to be the guardians of the Kaaba, and they guard it in a very humble way, and they are very humble people. And with that, I shall give my final thoughts and prayers. As always, I pray that Allah guides you, protects you, and gives you peace. I pray that Allah guides the Satanists and the devil to the straight path. I pray that the ultimate success be that all creation unite for truth and justice. I pray that Allah grants us guidance, forgiveness, makes our children be a source of peace for the parents, and the parents be a source of peace for the children. And I pray that I be a source of peace for all. And I pray that I achieved martyrdom defending the vulnerable. Allahu Akbar and Allah Hafiz.